Hey guys, welcome back to another video over here on the Chinese Zodiac and horoscopes. Today we're going to be doing a reading for all you guys born in the year of the rabbit. So welcome back to all my rabbit friends. Let's see what week you have had this week and what you have to look forward to as we move on. Let's have a little see. I'm going to just shuffle these up and then we're going to see where we're at. Let's stop there, I think. Yes, and we're going to take that one from the bottom, we're going to take that one from the middle, we're going to take that one from the top. What have we got? We have got a white and a black, very, very interesting as we start with this white positive moving over into that negative over here, which may look bad, but black isn't always an attack, white isn't always all right. It all depends on the compatibility as we flip the card. And as you see here, we've got a good card here because the dog and the rabbit are on the soulmate connection. If you want to know more about that, hit the subscribe button. But the dog and the rabbit have a very compatible union, and that dog is in the white. It's a positive card, so this is good. But it is a protective card. It's a card where you have potentially had to put yourself out there and put trust and faith out there, and now you're a bit reserved. You know, when you try something new, when you start to put trust and faith into something, you're always on alert if something could go wrong. What if it isn't what you think it is? What if something happens? So you're on a little bit of a caution, high alert sort of maybe mindset, but you are enjoying where you're at. And potentially that's what it is. Potentially you think that what is going on right now is an illusion, and potentially it is. Potentially you are in a place where things aren't adding up. Maybe your suspicions are correct. Maybe your suspicions are a premonition of what is to come. I mean, we are going from this white to this black here. So maybe you are right to be on guard. Maybe you are right to be protective of your space and where you're at, and be protective of who you have in your space. Potentially you need to I want to say maybe close the door potentially and make a stand inside, protect yourself, stay away from everybody, you know, metaphorically, and put up boundaries to keep yourself safe. But potentially this could all be, again, something that you have created out of your own paranoia, suspicion, or assumption or expectation. If you're expecting things to go bad, you're going to look for bad things in everything. You're going to look for the negative in things. If that's what you're expecting, you'll manifest that because you want to see it, because that's what you're, you know, as I say, that's what you're expecting to see. So potentially you're just getting protective over your own paranoia, thoughts, you know, suspicion, assumptions, and that's gonna actually lead you into this area, which, there we go, you see the dog's flipped and now it's gone into a negative. So potentially you know, had those heckles up, you had your suspicions. Those suspicions then led to whatever downfall it was that you were in, whether because either way, whether it came true and your suspicions were right, which is, you know, that's a bummer, or your own mood and your own perspective of things actually swayed things, turned things around, which is also pretty much a bummer. So now we're looking at this week here where we are turning into the negative, but still not a bad card. It's still a place that you should be. It's still a place that you can come back from. It's still a place that you should really benefit from. You may not see it now, but you might just benefit from this time, because these sort of soulmate connections, these soul lines, these sort of like things, they're meant to happen. They come into our life to teach us. They come into our life to give us experience. They come into our life to kind of guide us and push us the right ways. So potentially you haven't taken a wrong turn and nothing's actually bad has happened. It's potentially, you see it this way because, you know, it's a bummer. But what will come out of this is, you know, you'll learn lessons. You'll have a turning point. And things will start to make sense. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, maybe not in a month, but they will start to make sense. And you can look back and you can say, well, actually, if I didn't do this, or I wasn't in that place, then that wouldn't have happened, and then this wouldn't have happened, and then I wouldn't have got that, and then that wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have been there, and then I wouldn't have met that person, and I wouldn't have actually been in this position right now, and that position could actually be a potentially good position because of the, I suppose, the suffering and sacrifice that you've got to put in right now. And potentially, like I say, it's not all bad. It could just be potentially that's the way you're seeing it, because that's what you're looking for. Everything could be fine and dandy. Or not. Maybe your suspicions are right. But you still got to prove that. You still got to get over that. You still got to come to some sort of resolution with that. Maybe the trust that you had has been broken. Maybe you have now come to realize that somebody has been deceitful. Maybe there has been lies, and maybe there has been dishonesty. But what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Because if you can prove it, then obviously it's not all in your head. But if it is all in your head, you're just driving yourself crazy. So you need to find some evidence, some actual kind of factual truth. You need to find a way to prove it, so you're not gaslighting yourself. Because it's all right to be in this area of protection, but being indecisive, not knowing which way to go, and being uncertain, and just maybe scared of the boogeyman that isn't even there. You can be scared of the boogeyman when you are the boogeyman. You know? Potentially you're creeping up on yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror, walking past the mirror and making yourself jump, potentially. There's that rooster card coming in there. Interesting. That's your conflict card. The rooster and the rabbit, very different animals. Very, very different. And they do not see eye to eye at all. So we have flipped round into some real conflicts. And now the lack of communication comes in, because you're going to shut off, you're going to shut up, you're going to withdraw, you're going to go back down into your rabbit hole, and you're basically going to try and figure things out and how to fix this and how to make things right. And you can't necessarily run away from this. So when you stick your head back out that rabbit hole, potentially it's still going to be there. But I think you know that, and that's why you've been in this protective place. But again, it's because you're overthinking. The rooster is part of that thinking triangle. You're overthinking things. You're not talking about things. You're not communicating. You're not actually expressing yourself. You're shutting yourself off. Judging yourself for it as well, and potentially beating yourself up about it. Being critical. Being all mopey and run away from it, back down your hole, hoping that everything will be okay, and then still, while you're down your hole, in that place, running away from it, has it made it any better? Have you stopped worrying about it? Has it magically disappeared? Have things changed? No. That issue is still there. That problem is still there. There's still something that needs to be resolved. You can't have everything, and you can't do everything either, rabbit people. Especially if half the problems you're trying to solve aren't even problems at all. They're just things that you've come up with, or you've assumed are going to happen, or are expecting to happen, that probably haven't even happened. I'm not saying that is the case, because on the other hand, things have happened, and bad things have happened, and there has been some kind of conflict. And it is actual factual. Potentially, if that is the case, then now you still need to find some resolution. But communicating about it, talking about it, expressing yourself about it, bringing it out to the open, and clearing the air, so to speak, is potentially going to bring about more solution and resolution than trying to run away from it and hiding from it. You can't make this go away, and it's not gonna go away. Not overnight anyway. This is something that is going to be here continuously as time goes by. This is something that you need to figure out. That's not easy, and it's not going to be easy. But we'll find out, won't we, how you get on with it throughout the week. Next week, when we come back and do another reading for you rabbit peoples next Tuesday. I'll be back tomorrow for a reading for the dragons and the snakes. So if I don't see you then, I will see you next week. Thanks for watching, my lovely rabbit friends. Love and peace.